Hey guys, this is Bryan from Big Time Super Friends, coming at you this time with a review of X-Men Days of Future Past. Now, this film has a very dark future for both mutants and humans alike, who are nearing extinction due to these Sentinels. Now, the reason that these Sentinels are killing everyone is because of an assassination of Trask in the 70s by Mystique. So in order to prevent that from happening, they send Wolverine back in time to essentially stop that assassination from happening. And they do that by recruiting both Professor Xavier and Magneto. Now, he finds Professor Xavier no problem. I mean, not no problem, but he gets to the mansion. He convinces them that what's going on. He believes them. In order to get Magneto out of prison, they need to recruit some assistants. In this case, the assistance comes in the form of a young Quicksilver. And that actually leads to my first favorite scene of this movie, is really the escape and the breakout of Magneto by Quicksilver.
You take karate? You know karate, man?
I don't know karate, but I know crazy.
Now, at this point, we really get to see just how cool Quicksilver's powers really are. So they get Magneto out, they get to a room that gets locked off. Everything just turns slow motion. And at first you're like, what the hell's going on? And it turns to Quicksilver, you see him put the goggles on, Time in a Bottle starts playing, and you're like, okay, now let's see what's going on. So before anyone even notices what's going on, he's already changed all the guards around, he's made them hit each other, he's manipulated the bullets so they all miss. And by the time they come to, all the guards are knocked out. No one knows what the hell is going on. And I think the way that scene was shot was just brilliant. I mean, everything in the background is frozen, and you only see him moving, whether it's his hair flowing in the wind, his cheeks flapping back and forth from running around, and he's just having a good old time. And that's something I think everyone can appreciate, just a little quirkiness with his powers. Now, I want to take this time to talk about a couple characters that I liked, and one in particular that I really just kind of didn't like, or I think was maybe just underused. James McAvoy's Professor Xavier. Obviously, we saw him in First Class, excellent. This movie, I think he took it to a whole nother level, because going back in time, I think you see more of his human side. And he's more relatable in the sense where he's struggling with these powers, and he's taking this serum to minimize the effects, and I think that brings him on a more emotional level that we can kind of connect with. As far as a character that I didn't like, and this isn't that I didn't like him, I think he was just maybe underused, was Bishop. Now, Bishop is probably one of my favorite characters in the X-Men universe. And granted, the scenes that he was in the movie, he was pretty cool. I mean, he was pretty badass. The gun and everything was legit. It was fucking fully charged and shit. He's like blowing these Sentinels up. But for the first introduction of that character, of a character that people have been waiting for, I wanted just a little bit more flushed out storyline. I want to know more about him other than he has a gun and he's a time traveler and he gets sent back to warn everyone all the time. The third character that I want to talk about is arguably the most important character in this film, and that is Mystique. Now, with her, she's a pretty interesting case because essentially the whole movie revolves around her. And what I mean by that is you need to convince Mystique to change the way that she is to not do this assassination.
Are you still Charles's Raven? Or are you Mystique?
Now, this actually leads into one of my favorite Mystique scenes, which is the infiltration scene. In this scene, Magneto, Professor X, they all stepped in and they stop her assassination of Trask. And in doing so, she jumps out the window. Just humans in general, they're all outside. And this is their first real taste as to what mutants actually are. And they get someone jumping out of a window, being shot. They get Magneto coming down, manipulating all this stuff and destroying everything. They see Beast, a big furry blue guy running around the street. Wolverine causing chaos. So, if anything, this caused hysteria among all the people. And I think that kind of accelerated the Sentinel program. And everyone now wanted it more than they wanted it before, because anyone who was on the line, whether they wanted it or not, they know for sure, because that was some scary stuff that they just saw. But taking into consideration all the rest of the film, all the scenes that I really liked, and even though there were some parts that maybe just didn't do it for me, or some parts that I thought could have been better, I still got to give this movie, I'll give it an A-. Now, let me know what you guys think of this movie. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What was your least favorite scene? What was your favorite scene? Did you like the part where you saw Hugh Jackman's ass? Was that worth the wait? Let me know. But until then, I'm Bryan, and I'm out.